Alright, welcome back to Metal Heroes Review, episode 120. Well, we're here reviewing, a Metal Hero series, obviously. This one is the 12th overall. Yep, the 12th. But in the case that we're in the Heisei era of Metal Heroes, so this is actually this I believe is the 5th in the Heisei era. Yeah, this is the 5th one. Yeah, this one I discussed basically back when I did 120, when I talked about Mobile Cop G, which I really enjoyed that show. Here we're discussing a very similar concept with this one, except this is more mysterious, and from what I was reading, apparently there's more than one organization in the series. And the first one was dealt with in the first 2 episodes. We're here talking about, well, they refer to DVD as Special Investigation Robo Janperson. Released in 1993, and do you know what popular American movie was released the very same year? Jurassic Park. Yep, so, Janperson. Yeah, he doesn't show up in the first episode until almost halfway through. We start off with, get this, so there's this girl who's got this unknown disease, and apparently there's only one vaccine, so they contact the World Health Organization. I know currently they've had some controversy with them recently, but I'm not going to talk about that here. So, they send a vaccine, the doc transported in this special police ambulance thing, and meanwhile, though, while this is happening, we have a police chase happening with this guy who's, he betrayed the organization. We don't get the name of his organization until the end of the episode. We'll get to that. So, and then also we have these what he identifies as robot assassins. Yes, seriously, robot assassins that look like souped up bikers. Okay, run really fast, and then the chase goes on for a while, and of course you have this reporter just keep an eye and stuff. Now, by the way, we are introduced to a few characters here in just a few episodes. Not Janperson himself. Oh no, we're introduced to Kenjo Kimori, who tends to refer himself as the Batman of the police department. Yes. There's also Shiro Takado. Yeah, previously this guy played Yellow Turbo and Turbo Ranger. As for his partner, however, he was actually in Green Tooth Bioman. Yep. And we're also introduced to Ai Wakabashi, who... Now, is she played by some... Yeah, apparently these early characters are just here for early on, and then they're just dropped. Yeah, I'm not really sure why. Yeah, that's a weird thing with this show. It's like a character has appeared for a certain period of time, and then they just randomly dropped. So, by the way, the name is Horta, the guy's name is. So they go to this place. It looks like some dine-in place, like a restaurant, like a version of and everyone gets shot up by these robot assassins. And then all of a sudden, a car where the top of the car is painted purple drives up, and then we see a guy in a jumpsuit come out after, of course, he threw his card. This is Janperson. Let's see if I can find it. I don't have it here, but he shows up wearing a jogging suit, takes it off, and reveals this very look here. And you look at the helmet like, wow, that might be the Sentai helmets. I'm sure that the design of this thing, now, from what I read, it is based upon RoboCop, and it's also based upon Sentai, some Sentai outfits per se. And, and he shows up and fights the robot assassins. A lot of time he's shooting them. Also, throughout these first 2 episodes, he doesn't talk very much. He just says, Janperson for justice. And then he proceeds to fight the 3 robot assassins, blows them up, and Then eventually he's told, oh, we have to transport this particular vaccine to the hospital. So he takes his vehicle, which apparently it's referred to as, I think it's called like the Dark J, I believe it is. Okay, it's referred to as Dark J car. Otherwise known as Grand J car, where he has like a sky mode, which basically allows him to make the driver's seat fly. And then he flies to the hospital, and then he proceeds to launch out the vaccine, which is a tube. Takes out the case, puts in a tube, drops the hospital parachute. Look up, there's doctors just happen to be there, and then they take in to help the girl, no problem. And then after this is done, then Hotta reveals the name of the organization known as the Guild. And we're also introduced to our main villain for this episode and the following episode, a guy, and of course we reveal his name next episode. His name is Ben Fujinami. Yep, that is seriously the man's name. And he himself, aside from appearing in these couple episodes, apparently he popped up for an episode of Time Ranger as Kyogo Yamashita. Apparently was secretary for the main character's father. Yeah, this guy has done a Toku stuff. He's like, and then we go, oh, he's like, we reveal something interesting. So, and then the next episode becomes a nod to They Live. Yeah, I've never seen They Live, but I do know about this particular scene where you have the late Roddy Piper getting his hands on these sunglasses, who reveal these certain people were replaced by aliens. And so we have, get this, a scene that is clearly inspired by They Live. We have these guys, one of the guys drop this watch that apparently can identify people who are robots for reasons. They don't explain the reason for this. It just, oh, we dropped this thing with why we identify robots? I don't know. And then we have a kid pick this thing up and look through what appears to be the glass part, look like, oh crap. He also has like his Conan the Gawa, which the series came a few years after this. I wonder if basically this kid with this pull-up thing was targeted. I wonder if this is inspiration for the tranquilizer watch that Conan uses in Case Closed. I would not be surprised if this was inspired by that. So then he sees, oh crap, we have the people raised by robots, and then he tries to heal, but no one believes him because he's a kid, because that's how Japanese makes kids. And a lot of it is him running around trying to find out where it is, and the inspector and his partner trying to find out who Janperson is. And also, they have it depicted where, oh, like, big news! Janperson shoots random people! And the reason? They don't say for a bit. And then it's with, the people who shot were actually freaking robots. Because they didn't shoot people. So then he ends up inadvertently trying to protect this kid. And then, of course, they're chasing more around. And then we finally unveil, like, the main villain, Ben Fujinami. And then later on in the episode, like, you think, oh, is this guy the main villain? Nope, he confronts him in this episode. And then has a fight with them, which he actually beats him. Actually, he actually kills him. Well, in a way, he shoots him close to dead. So he's like, ha ha, I'll make you basically, like, an embarrassment to the public. So then he proceeds to blow himself up. Yes, the kid is protected, and presumably Guild is destroyed. Also, prior to this, basically, the data was damaged, so the people who were actually robots all end up randomly dying. It was quite something. But I really I do like kind of the idea of these episodes. Like, Janperson, it's like, not much is known about him. We're just scratching the surface. Now, is there a problem with pacing the show? Not really, no. If I would say there's a problem with the show so far, is the lack of info. Sometimes you watch these episodes like, okay, so at this point, why in the world does he have civilians, like robots posed as civilians? I don't know. Will we know? We'll find out and see. Because apparently, the guild replaced by about 3 different villain organizations. The first one will pop up the very next episode. What's the name of this organization? You'll find that out in the very next episode. Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much a particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, notifications. I'll see y'all later after my stream. Okay, next video. Bye.